Now to open the primetime slot, Scorpions go to San Francisco to play the Sharks. This was one of the longer games this week as we got Steve Bono going, da-da-da-da-da-da. I got you, Mark Jackson. And Mark Jackson gets to around the 30-yard line. This would lead to a field goal make by Morten Andersen. Now we've got Don the Magic Man Mikowski play action faking, throwing the ball over the middle to Roger Craig. He's diving to make the catch. And then Roger Craig, he came back from injury about a week ago. He's going to scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Sharks take a 4-point lead. Next drive for the Scorpions, Steve Bono goes da-da-da-da-da-da. I got you, Hall of Famer Tim Brown, as he dodges a tackle, getting it close to midfield. Inside Sharks territory, Steve Bono goes da-da-da-da-da-da. Play action rollout bootleg, throws the ball to Marion Butts, and eventually he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. 3-point game for the Scorpions as Don the Magic Man Mikowski throws an interception to Martin May, and this would lead to a field goal make by Martin Andersen. 6-point lead for the Scorpions, another play action rollout bootleg, throw to Marion Butts, but Marion Butts puts the ball on the ground and Kevin Ross recovers the fumble. San Francisco takes over. Don the Magic Man Mikowski throwing it over the middle to Roger Craig, avoiding a tackle, getting it to the 10-yard line, and this would lead to Don the Magic Man Mikowski getting sacked by Hall of Famer Derek Thomas, which would lead to a field goal make by San Francisco. Marion Butts over the middle. He needs to make up for that fumble, getting it past the 50-yard line. Another Morten Andersen made field goal. It is good. Remember, this is the Morten Andersen, Gary Anderson game, as San Francisco's Don the Magic Man Mikowski throws it to Dave Meggett. Inside the 20, inside the 10, before the second quarter is over. Touchdown. San Francisco takes a 1-point lead. In the second half, Mikowski to Roy Green, and Roy Green gets the ball inside the 30-yard line, and this would lead to another field goal make, this time by Gary Anderson. Steve Bono steps up into the pocket. He rolls around. He scampers to the 50-yard line, moving the chains, but Steve Bono is injured. He would be replaced by the 2002 sensation Tommy Maddox. A punt here by Bracken. Callaway will return it, and usually if we show one of these returns, it's either a big play or a gaff, and guess what? It's a gaff. Ball's on the ground. Callaway fumbles, and the ball bounces around a lot, and it's recovered by Don Bracken, the punter, and he's going to make it into the end zone, do the punter dance. Showed off there. Tommy Maddox hands it off to Marion Butts, and he wiggles around defenders, making it past the 20, making it into the red zone, and then Marion Butts would catch the flip to the left, down by 11, and guess what? The Scorpions are back into it. Now here's a play we haven't had all season. Mikowski surveys the field, throws an interception to Leroy Butler, and he's in the end zone for the touchdown, the first pick six of the season. Scorpions take a 3-point lead. In the fourth quarter, Don the Magic Man Mikowski throws a jumping catch to James Jett. That's the rabbit he pulls out of his hat. But James Jett is injured, and he would be replaced by Gerald McNeil. This would lead to Dave Meggett going, "Get off me!" I'm in the end zone for the touchdown. Sharks take a 4-point lead, and just for good measure, Gerald McNeil, he's open, diving down the sideline, and he's in the end zone for his first touchdown of the season. The game would end 41-30. Scorpions are 4-9. Sharks are 7-6.
Wild football game against two of the better teams in this league. Jeff Hostetler and Thurman Thomas returns, just adding to the star power of a big-time football game between the Birmingham Rebels and the Boise Colts. We pick up the action here in the first quarter. Former Bills teammates Jim Kelly and Andre Reed were critical on this drive, not just for the key pass, but for the touchdown, and the underdog Rebels take the early lead against 10-3 Boise. On the ensuing Colts drive, here comes Warren down the right side to set him up in the red zone. This is a good red zone offense, but not on this day. Jeff Hostetler is dumped by Chris Slade. They'll have to settle for this chip shot field goal. We've got a 7-3 ball game, and he has had a solid season for them. And if Reed didn't have enough on that last drive, he'd keep it going. And Boise, a good defense, is struggling to contain the Hall of Fame wide receiver, and Thurman Thomas got off to a good start in this one. Birmingham, in the midst of a stunning upset, leads Boise 14-3. This offense wouldn't be denied forever, though. And now return Jeff Hostetler finds Webster Slaughter for his 8th receiving touchdown. That catch puts him over 1,000 yards. Too bad his kicker couldn't make an extra point. It's 14-9. Sometimes in the midst of what they hope for Boise is a comeback, you need a bit of a break. And it seemed as though the tide would turn here. Chris Jackie drills the field goal 17-9. Hostetler really started to find his rhythm here late in the second quarter. He finds the diving Herman Moore to set him up deep into the field goal range. They'd have to settle for 3 as the half was coming to a close. It's 17-12. Hostetler would get the ball back late in the period and try and get it all on this play for the lead to Moore, but it's picked off by Nate Odom. So we go into the second half, and this is where disaster strikes. Jim Kelly is injured, and this game goes from wild to straight up weird after Kelly is taken out by John Forcade. And now the backup with the injured Jim Kelly, who's had a great year. He'd watch as this team completely self-destructs. Thurman Thomas, a bad bounce there, finally recovered by Najee, Mustafa, and Boise would smell blood. And he finds the touchdown for the lead to Nicky Woods. And then after a fumble, Mike Singletary wouldn't just pick it up but also score. Thurman Thomas, in the midst of a 3-fumble game, puts him up 26-17. Ensuing kickoff, this not Thurman Thomas, this is Dykes on the run back, and he put together a great return here only to lose the ball again. One of the weirdest finishes to a game. It's got to be some sort of a record. 4 fumbles in one game, and then Nicky Woods puts the icing on this cake with the touchdown. And Birmingham, after leading 14-3, completely falls apart and lost their quarterback too. Colts 33, Rebels 17.
Thanks, Nick. And now for the big plays for Week 13. We'll start off with the Washington Generals. Sean Salisbury, who had 5 touchdowns today. He'll throw it over the middle to Curtis Conway. He'll avoid a tackle. DB's got to make it. Curtis Conway's in for the touchdown. Denver's Willie Davis had 3 touchdowns. This one, perfect pass from a Bear. And then the first interception for a touchdown this season, Leroy Butler's going to intercept Don Mikowski. He's going to jump for that one. Avoid tackles. He's in there for the touchdown. A wide open touchdown for Randall Cunningham to Terry Kirby. It doesn't get much easier than this. No one's covering the fullback. Touchdown, Terry Kirby. And then one of 3 of Thurman Thomas's fumbles today, recovered by Mike Singletary, and the former coach of the 49ers is in there. Don Bracken is going to make this punt, and it's always great when a non-skilled player ends up getting a touchdown. Callaway is going to return it from the 7 or 8, and he's going to put the ball on the ground. It's recovered by guess who? Don Bracken, the punter, and he's going to do the punter dance in the end zone. Have a nice day, everyone. See you next week.